potion and emotion. When I'm feeling low, when my love starts to flow, he's got the power every hour. He's the reason why my face is all aglow. Just one kiss from his lips is like taking vitamin C. Oh, you can't imagine what my doctor does to me. Doctor Love, he can cure my every pain. He can make me well again. Doctor Love, he ain't got no competition. Only he writes my prescription. Doctor Love, Doctor Love, ooh, Doctor Love. There's no need for me to eat an apple every day. Oh, he's all I ever need to take any pain away. Take any pain away. Doctor Love, he can cure my every pain. He can make me well again. Doctor Love.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to talk to you as a doctor very briefly about the function of dysfunctionality in modern society. We're not terribly good communicators, and on top of that, we're blind. I can step over my underpants in the corridor for 4 days. We've got a 30-year-old son, Oliver. She says he's mine. I can't see it. 6'4", dark hair, Greek. Therefore, I will be accepting the position that you advertised. Good luck in refusing future applicants. I dropped out of school at the end of grade 11, and I don't think I was missed. I was never in the top half of the class. Although, to be fair, I was in the half that made the top half possible. So credit where credit's due. I remember my English teacher saying to me, "Scott, what rhymes with orange?" I said, "No, it doesn't." Crazy woman, and she teaches English. I remember the maths teacher saying to the whole class, "Stand up if you think you're stupid." Well, what a thing to say. I looked around and nobody was moving. So I slowly pushed my chair back and I rose to my feet. And the maths teacher looked at me and said, "Do you think you're stupid, Mr. Williams?" I said, "No, sir, I just didn't want you standing alone." There were these jobs everywhere, so I wrote away to all of them and they all said no. And the next company to send me a rejection letter, I wrote them back a rejection letter, rejecting their rejection letter. Great idea. Angie and I just celebrated, although we've been together 40 years, we've actually been married 37 years, and we recently had our 37th wedding anniversary, and I woke up before she did, and I didn't want to disturb her, so I just lay there staring down at her with a blindfold on and a mouth guard in. Thinking I'm a lucky man. And she must have sensed that I was looking at her. She reached up and she grabbed a blindfold and she lifted up one side and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "It's our anniversary." I said, "Today I'm going to make you the happiest woman in the world." She said, "I'm going to miss you." What sort of an attitude is that? We've been together for 37 years. 37 years ago, I was living in a small, dirty, grotty flat. I was driving a bomb of a car and watching a little black and white TV. But I was lying next to this sexy 20-year-old woman. I said, "Today I've got a big house, I've got a fast car, I've got flat screen TVs in every room. But I'm lying next to a 57-year-old woman." I said, "Quite frankly, I don't think you're pulling your weight." Now, my wife's a very reasonable woman. So she said, "Well, I tell you what, why don't you go out and find a 20-year-old to lie next to, and I'll make sure that once again you're living in a small, dingy flat, driving a bomb of a car, and watching a little black and white TV." To finish up, let me tell you a story about my grandfather. He's no longer with us, but my grandfather used to say you weren't old until you looked at the menu more than you looked at the waitress. And right up until 80 years of age, a pretty face like yours would turn his head. And my grandmother never seemed to mind. Her attitude was, dogs chase cars, but it doesn't mean they can drive. I remember we lost my grandfather, true story, in a shopping centre, and we had to report him missing. I was about 4 years old. And when my grandmother was asked for a description, she said he's 6'2", thick black hair, dark brown eyes, and strong masculine features. I mean, even at 4, I looked up, I said, that isn't Granddad. Granddad's short and doesn't have any hair. And she said, exactly, why would you want that back? Good night, and have a wonderful night. Thank you.